I'm going to talk about my rear suspension upgrade on my XT10 bike here. I changed the rear shock to a DNM 190 millimeter. The original was 165, and it really kind of lacked the preload load that you'd need. And so this one now has a 190 with air pressurized chamber instead of a mechanical spring, and that gives you the ability to adjust the preload. And then mine, you can see this cable which goes up to this control on the handlebars, and this allows you to lock out the shock, so when you're pedaling hard you're not soaking up so much energy in the suspension. You can just actuate it by pushing it down. A quick release, so it makes it real slick. You look at the other side here, kind of get more idea of the cable. Now I had to put the cable in backwards, so now it's actually the housing that shoves up the release, but hey, it works great. And I also modified that front mount because the original one on the bike was too short. So anyway, got that all working good. I also added this inner chain guard. One of the problems with mountain bikes when you get in really rough terrain is the chain will just jump off, and mine would jump off generally on the inside. And as you can see, if you look down it, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see how the chain lines up in first gear, right? Basically lines up so it's pulling it to the left here. And so when the chain leaps around, it actually just leaps off the inside. So this chain inner guide like that keeps the chain from hopping off at all. I took it off over some really rough terrain after installing that, and problem solved. Never did it again. So it rides nice and quiet, even though you can see it basically touches there lightly. This is just plastic, so it's flexible, but it has enough tension to keep that chain on the guide correctly, and it rides nice and quiet. So those were two really important upgrades that helped this bike out a lot. Before I did the shock, my pedals were so close to the ground in rough terrain that I'd be hitting rocks, and as you can see, the poor pedals took a beating. This raised the bike up a little less than an inch at the crank, so that really helps. Plus it's a lot firmer, and the ability to adjust the preload gives you, basically holds the bike higher even over rough terrain, so it doesn't drop down so much and sack out the suspension. Anyway, bike feels fantastic now. It's a blast to ride. These two upgrades really helped, and yeah, it's a bit dirty, and as you can see, I've been riding it a lot off-road. Didn't bother to wash it for this video.